Welcome to the No Clue Podcast. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Tyler.
I'm Mike.
And welcome back. We are back after a short break. Felt short, but it probably was long for our listeners. Football season is here. Finally. A season we have been waiting for. Probably the biggest off season I can remember in football. What about you? You think so?
It's definitely up there because just a lot of moving parts,
Mm-hmm.
new coaches, new everything.
Yeah, huge draft. I mean, like 3 starting QBs were drafted this year.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson switching teams, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, major pieces, number one options, number one weapons, switching teams this year. So we got our first game. The Chiefs versus the Ravens.
Great first game.
It was. What's your first what was your first impression of this game? Like early on, what was the first note you took in?
Both teams are gonna be at the top of the AFC.
Yeah.
Lamar's still unstoppable. Now that Likely's like another tight end that he could go to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Chiefs, I mean, their defense might even be better than last year.
That was my first takeaway. The defense, both teams' defense, I thought was pretty impressive. I mean, the Chiefs don't really. It's hard to look good on defense playing the Chiefs, just playing Mahomes in general. But the Ravens' defense looked solid. It really did. And the Chiefs' defense, I agree, it might be a little bit better than last year. And it looks like they got a little bit younger in some spots. They were solid, really solid.
Yeah, you know what's frustrating? Like Baltimore's coming into this season under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're a certified contender. To me, if they're not in the AFC Championship game, they had a bad year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they lose the AFC Championship game, I'd say they had a disappointing year.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see like a focused, eager to win a championship team.
I agree.
Like the details are so sloppy in every way. And this is now they're like becoming the Bills. Where
Similar, yeah.
It's like you clearly can handle the rest of the conference.
Mm-hmm.
You clearly can't handle the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And you do all these annoying things to beat yourself.
Yeah.
It was just the kick, Tucker's missing a kick. It was the not knowing the rule to start the game. Lamar missing easy throws down the stretch of the game.
And not holding on to the ball, too.
All things we've seen from them. I mean, the new rule, maybe not, but it's just like sloppy execution.
Yeah. I haven't seen any, like the Chiefs, especially from last year, which was, for their standards, the season was pretty horrific for the Chiefs. You see, even in one game, the clear correction of a lot of the mistakes that they made last year, like right away.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even look like the same team as last year. They look even more focused, and they should be, they should get the that spoiled feeling that most teams get after winning the championship, after just getting your rings and getting the trophy.
Which look at the contrast. Baltimore was the opposite. Baltimore had as good a year as they could have had.
Yeah.
And they were no match for the Chiefs. So I would have thought we would have seen Baltimore's like peak performance in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we would have been going all season like, all right, Baltimore's probably going to be back in the AFC Championship. Like, are they going to show us that they could beat the Chiefs and do things to beat the Chiefs?
Do you know if Henry was like healthy for the full camp?
As far as I know, yes. Now, he could have not been, but the mistake they made,
Mm-hmm.
and this was kind of petty. I'm watching the pregame, and they're showing the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're showing every player, right? They're kind of showing you could kind of see who's a big guy. Obviously,
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is huge.
Yes.
You know who else is fucking huge?
Who?
Chris Jones. And the amount of time, it's like I get that Henry is big, but you can't just run him at a 6'8" lineman all the time.
No, you can't.
Like, the Chiefs are really solid defensively, and it's, as far as Henry goes, we're just trying to like do the same thing he did in Tennessee.
Right.
I thought there'd be a little more nuance, a little more like creativity.
And that's why I brought up that question, because it didn't look like they had like integrated him into their offense. It looked like he looked like he just got picked up. It didn't look like he got integrated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
completely agree.
Yeah, it's like two completely different things. You can pick up Derrick Henry, and obviously he's going to perform well because he's just a beast on the field, and he's just a behemoth coming at you, coming at the defense. But to integrate, I saw no plays that weren't at least near the goal line where I was like, wow, now that's Derrick Henry doing what he does best. It didn't look like they put him in position to do what he does best. They just had him out there making these runs. And then you look on the Chiefs side, who their draft pick, Xavier Worthy, right away, the first time he touches the ball, he gets a touchdown. First time he touches the ball in his NFL career, he gets a touchdown. And it was on a play where, hey, if I have the fastest player that's ever been in a draft, that's the play I would run for him right there. And it was just, it just seemed like they knew exactly how they were going to use him. And Baltimore doesn't look like they know how they're going to use Henry, and it's a little late now for you to start trying to figure it out.
I mean, they got new coordinators, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's somewhat of an excuse, but
yeah,
to me now John Harbaugh is kind of under pressure the rest of the year.
Yeah, he is.
Like, now, if their season doesn't end well, his job is on the line.
Yeah, and for me, it's not even just his job, but his devotion to this core is on the line. Like, after this, I know Lamar is a 2-time MVP. He's an untradeable, but like, if it doesn't work out this season, they have to start thinking about, okay, well, what else do we do? We have to make a drastic change somewhere else, because we can't get Lamar right. We got Derrick Henry, that didn't work. Like, what could we possibly do next? And then, unfortunately, that does end up being the coach in a lot of situations, but it may not this time. It may be, hey, Harbaugh, you got to make a decision on this roster. We're not keeping it how it is. Something has to change. But
yeah, I just hope they haven't peaked.
Yes.
As they're showing, they're nowhere near the Chiefs level.
Right.
I mean, they haven't even see. When
Uh-huh.
was the last time they were winning against the Chiefs in a game?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while.
I feel like the last 3 or 4 times they've just been losing. And Baltimore is kind of a front runner.
And do you think it has anything to do with Baltimore being do you think that they're predictable?
No, honestly, I think the Chiefs' defense is just good. Especially the last couple of years, getting really good.
Yeah.
They're the Ravens have kind of fallen back on the talent instead of trying to add different elements to their offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, not to be so solemn about it, it was a fantastic game. It was a fun game.
Yeah, week one.
The Chiefs are just
plenty of room to grow.
The Chiefs are still just must watch. Both of these teams are just must watch football. Just straight up, man. If you love football or you don't, you enjoying watching Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson work is just a pleasure as a sports fan, as a fan of competition on any level. It was a fantastic game, and to me, probably the perfect way to start the season. Absolute perfect way. Put the two best QBs of the last 5 years against each other.
Yeah, I would be shocked if this wasn't a preview of another AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Like, whoever is the other team that finds a way to make it, I would be extra impressed. Because these two teams, to me, like, they're just on a different tier in the AFC, at least.
Yep. So how do you feel about the Chiefs' weapons?
Oh.
It's really crazy now, man.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating is how, like, they're not going to have to play well ever, and they could go 16-0 or 17-0.
And they have the luxury of really just benching, like, a number one guy. I mean, they don't really have a number one.
A friend of mine, I was like, this could be their 07 Patriots year.
Yeah.
Like, Kelsey just goes crazy. I mean, he's already been doing that, but I just think there's so much talent there. Their culture is so perfect. The coaching is perfect. Mahomes' leadership is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure they'll find a way to lose a game or two, but
it's gonna be tough.
if they wanted it, they could, I think.
Yeah. They to your point about the Patriots, that Patriots team, like, even just off memory, it feels like the team had like 10 receivers. Like, I feel like there's no team in the history of football I can name more offensive players on than that team. And I think that this Chiefs team, like, this year is getting into that arena because, okay, we had Worthy, we had Rice in this game. We have Gray, who's a tight end who, like, looks at times just as good as Kelsey at times. And then Hollywood Brown wasn't even there. Hardman and Juju, who were the heroes of the Super Bowl, did nothing in this game.
Yeah.
Like, they won the Super Bowl for them, and they were barely in this game at all. I think Juju got one target, and he dropped it. And, so it's really crazy because those guys are obviously serviceable. They're obviously solid players. They're Super Bowl champions, and they really don't even need them to beat the Ravens. So that's kind of crazy.
What's crazy to me is with how good the defense is. Again, it's like you can now overcome mistakes and just win every weekend.
Yeah.
So they validated themselves last year. Now it's like they're chasing history now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Mahomes also is just
Brady got to be sick because remember how it was like breaking our brain how like the things Brady was doing the last like 5 Patriots years and then the Tampa Bay like first 2 years.
Yeah.
I bet you he would have never fathomed a guy would be chasing him down like within a decade.
Yeah, like already he's
basically
he's right
the next
there.
generation's like one of the first guys is already potentially better. Like,
yeah, and he played against him. Like he got to see him up close. Yeah, that's
it's just his greatness is like it's hard to even put into words.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the second game.
Yes, first Brazil game.
Yeah.
Hence the Friday, I believe. I don't know if there's any other reason for why it was on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Eagles and Packers.
Yes.
First look at the Eagles. What'd you think? Just the Eagles right now.
I didn't like what I saw.
No.
Now there's like a lot of individual things. I liked what I guess Baltimore. I didn't like what I saw. With the Eagles, I just saw a lot of weaknesses. Like the secondary sucks.
Right.
Like they can't cover. When the running back got into the secondary, he looked unstoppable. I'm like, guys, like we're supposed to bring people down. Like we're not tackling, we're not covering. At one point, it looked like people didn't even want to talk to each other. And just how sloppy they were throughout the game. I guess in this way, they are similar to Baltimore. It's just like your own like lack of execution.
Yeah.
I honestly I didn't realize how important the center position is until I saw this game.
Honestly, until this new rule in general, like the center is going to be huge because of that rule. That lineup
because he communicates the protection.
Yeah.
So now it's like even more important to be coordinated with that stuff. And you would think like a new guy coming in for a Hall of Famer, like you wouldn't have timing issues.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, in the stuff I liked, A.J. Brown looks as great as ever.
Yes.
Devontae Smith looks as great as ever. I mean, you talked about the first game weapons. The Eagles are fucking stacked when it comes to weapons. I didn't even mention their new acquisition who had 3 touchdowns.
And they're young. I mean, they have a young stack team.
Young. Saquon Barkley looks phenomenal. He looks – you talked about Derrick Henry not like looking like he was missing training camp.
Yeah.
Saquon looked like he's been working out with Jalen since like the day he got there.
He does.
And I don't know if you saw in the broadcast, they showed a hilarious clip of them in the weight room.
Yeah.
And Saquon doing like 500-pound squat and Jalen smiling in the back.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But
the chemistry is there already.
Yeah, but they're utilizing Saquon's versatility immediately.
Yep.
And I loved it, man. Like their weapons look so good. Every time they made mistakes to shoot themselves in the foot, they came right back. Devontae made a great route. A.J. Brown like just shook a guy off and just ran all the way down. Like they just made so many plays.
I don't like the heat Sirianni gets from Eagles diehards because I think that he's going to represent a new breed, or at least a new class of creative coaches. And I mean, I think you see it in how they play. I think getting someone like Saquon and being able to integrate him right away is a perfect example that a lot of these older, the good old boy system coaches probably just can't do. I'm not talking about Harbaugh specifically, but I'm just saying in general, when you make this kind of acquisition and it does have this not wiggle room, but this period of like what is going on for everyone.
Yeah, that shouldn't
Eagles
happen.
Are not having that.
That shouldn't happen with a running back.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't often, but I think it depends on how how dominant the running back is, maybe.
But it's like
someone like
any
Saquon,
good running back that
offense.
goes to a new place, he's good right away. I can't think of an example of like a good running back moving and it being like a late bloomer situation where it takes time to work.
Well, I guess what I mean, not necessarily it taking time to work, but like you said, using their strengths that quickly. Like, I wouldn't say Derrick Henry didn't work or like wasn't good, but he just didn't get to like do what he does best. And obviously part of that was the Chiefs defense. Saquon immediately, like you said, showed his versatility right away. And I think that a lot of coaches in the league right now might not have been able to do that with Saquon right away. And maybe it also speaks to Jalen being a good quarterback, the kind of quarterback he is, and a high chemistry guy.
Yeah.
But I think Dak, if the same situation happened with Dak, I think Dak would have issues right away.
Dak is
I don't
weird
think it would be so seamless.
Dak is like a playoff choker, so it doesn't really like him. I don't really worry about Dak acclimating a new weapon. Who did they pick up? Oh, Amari Cooper. You remember when they picked up Amari Cooper and took off like immediately?
Yeah, he was cooking. Yeah.
So Dak is not like acclimating a new weapon into the offense. Dak should be fine, I would expect.
I don't know. I don't think it's as easy as how.
I think a lot of it is the Chiefs' defense, like making it a focal point to kind of shut it down.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Ravens moving the ball was like Lamar just athletic greatness, which you can't really like quantify or practice.
Yeah, or practice against. You can't even prepare.
That's why the Ravens are so like high and low. But
yeah,
in this second game, a lot. I guess I should give the defenses somewhat of a pass on both sides because none of the Packers' defense looked bad too.
Yeah.
But the field was horrible. I mean, guys were slipping everywhere. I mean,
they were.
I saw sideline guys slipping all over the place.
Yeah, and guys who normally don't make those kind of mistakes were making like weird mistakes.
Which is crazy that Saquon was. I mean, he slipped a couple times too, but then he found a way to just make plays after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think of the Packers, man? Before,
really high,
the Packers were kind of the young, hot NFC team coming in.
I'm not really in on the Packers. I think Jordan Love is cool. I think the Packers have like better weapons than people maybe might think. But I think they probably go. How many games is it this year? 18?
Did they had another one? Is it 2 bye weeks? Did that happen?
What is it? 16 still? I thought they were going to add one this year.
17, I think. I think it's still just the one extra game.
I could see them going like 7-10. Slightly losing, but not really bad.
Jordan Love getting hurt for like a month, I think I just saw. It was sprained MCL, I believe.
Yes.
He's going to be gone like a month.
So it may be
see we differ here because I like the Packers. Now, how good they are, like I can't really like consider them that good. Like they're not. They weren't really coming in like a Super Bowl threat.
Right.
I wouldn't even really say they were like Super Bowl capable.
Right.
But they are really young.
They are.
They are talented.
Future-wise, they have a really bright
liked
future.
the running back, Reed, the new running back, and I thought they'd miss Aaron Jones a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But the new guy looked good.
Jacobs looked good.
See, the difference for me, I liked Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching this game in a vacuum, his quarterback instincts looked significantly better than Jalen Hurts.
It did, and I think he is one of the better do I pass it or do I run it decision makers in the league. Like I never think, oh, he should have ran that or oh, he should have passed that with him. With Jalen, I feel like I think that like every drive at least once. I'm like, man, why didn't he just run that? Or why didn't he just pass that? But I think Jordan Love is a much better decision maker when it comes to that.
Again, maybe that's why I'm like, I want to consider the fact that I'm looking at the game in a vacuum, but Love did look great the whole second half of last year.
He did. Fantastic.
And in this game, like, Hurts is making these mistakes where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, the first interception, it's like, I understand the throwaway punt that, like, it's okay if it's picked off. I've never seen a guy literally throw an interception. Like, please, Packers players catch this. Like, why?
Yeah.
And then the handoff was kind of crazy. Like you said, there's times when he pretends he's not mobile.
Yeah.
Like, Jalen, why are you looking like Tua? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And the problem is his accuracy has been like on a steady decline.
It has.
I don't know what happened last year, coming off the MVP year. Maybe the MVP year was like a little bit of an outlier.
Mm-hmm.
But it's his accuracy. He's not reading the game well. He doesn't read well. Like, Love had so many moments that he saved sacks by throwing it away.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen missed a lot of those moments.
He did.
And either took a sack or forced a dangerous pass. It's like, Jalen, you have more starting experience than Jordan Love.
Jalen almost looked like he was like coming off like a year-long injury or something. Like, he looks almost rusty.
Yeah.
And for someone at his caliber, I wouldn't expect that.
That's why, like, throughout the game, I just liked the decision-making from Jordan Love a lot more.
Yeah. He looked like the better QB in this game. He did.
And it's tough because now that he's hurt, like, it completely derails their momentum.
Yeah, and then this year, you don't even know if he comes back the same. I mean, that's 5 games,
and he,
probably.
Like, he's a very, like, Kyler Murray runs like this a little bit, where it's like short steps.
Yeah.
Where it's like an injury to me would really limit your ability to, like, avoid hits.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, a lot of his talent is being able to throw accurately on the move.
Yeah.
So that's going to be tough, man. But I still like the Packers, man. I just think they're, like, in a good spot for a team to be.
Yeah, if I were to pick, I mean, this is a much different question, but if I were to pick a team that I would want to, like, GM for the next 10 years, Packers would definitely be in my top 5
They are
picks.
a great pick for that. I would love them,
Yeah, for sure.
How they've retooled after Rodgers and McCarthy. They look good, man. I like what I see.
And they're patient. Like, even with the Rodgers situation and Love was patient and the team's patient. And I think it's going to pay off in the future. I just don't think it will this year.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. Okay, well, you want to talk about the upcoming matchups, or you want to talk about, like, the season in general first?
Yeah. Any games you're specifically planning on watching tomorrow?
Got to be honest, this is not a great first week. It is not. Jaguars Dolphins is interesting to me.
That's mine. And I'm watching that one right there.
Texans and Colts is interesting. Cowboys and Browns is interesting. But I'm not, like, jumping at any of those, really. I mean, probably Dolphins and Jaguars, I think, will be the best game.
I want to see that because it just seems like such a good matchup.
It does, yeah.
And both teams should be hungry going into the season.
I would imagine so.
Like, they're not Super Bowl capable, but if I'm them, I would delusionally believe that. Like, we are Super Bowl capable.
Yeah. Or I would at least think this was the year where we have to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to. Especially the Jaguars. Like, they have to show us something this year.
Interesting, too, with both Lawrence and Tua getting paid.
Yeah.
Now it kind of like clears up the direction of the future for both teams. So now they are in an unofficial Super Bowl window.
They are, yeah. And both of them being kind of injury prone too, which is kind of shortens the window. When you have the injury prone guy, especially your quarterback, your window gets a lot tighter. Subliminally. Especially for the GMs.
The Jags scooped up Mac Jones. Good pickup.
Very good pickup. I believe in Mac Jones, man. I get the hate. I get that he's on the Patriots. Because I mean, obviously,
you didn't have
was,
to. You didn't have to commit that hard. You could have just said like, "Yeah, I like Mac Jones, but believe in him."
I believe in him. I do.
I don't know about that.
I
I will
believe in him.
say the Jags have a lot of talent.
They
So
do. Yeah.
even if he's like just okay, he had nothing on the Patriots and he was okay.
Right.
So he comes here. I mean, you got weapons galore.
Yeah. When I say I believe in him, I mean if Lawrence went down for 3 games, I think they go 2-3. I think they go 2-3 with Mac.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 out of 3. Sorry, 2 out of 3. Yeah. They go 2-1.
I could see him closing a playoff game.
Yeah.
They had Chad Henne come out for the Chiefs. They literally presented him as the hero of the divisional like game or whatever. I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
But I get it. I could see Mac Jones doing something similar.
Yeah. Definitely. Let's see who. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the season. Who do you have? So you have the Ravens in the division.
Just for the sake of conversation, let's say horrific thing happens. Chiefs don't make it. Let's just because they're such a fucking obvious pick. Like who people know if we're trying to be objective, they're the pick.
You saying division or the AFC championship?
So give me the who comes out of the AFC and NFC first.
Who comes out of the AFC if it's not the Chiefs?
Yeah. I'm
gonna go Bengals. I'm gonna play it safe. I feel like that's a safe pick, but
that's not. No way.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, without the Chiefs, there's no safe picks. Baltimore maybe is a safe pick.
Maybe, yeah. But I'll stick with Joe.
But after seeing that, I'm gonna believe in CJ Stroud. Year 2 CJ Stroud. The Texans loaded, all in, good coach. They're ready.
That was gonna be if you had asked me who would be in the title game. I mean, well, not the title game, but if you asked me who my second pick would have been, it would have been.
I probably will. I do want to see that. I mean, I also want to see Anthony Richardson, but the Texans, like, I want to see the team.
Yeah. That's kind of why I want to see that game. That's like I'll watch one half of that game. I don't really need to see the whole game of that one because I just don't care. Neither of those teams to me is like a Super Bowl contender, but I'll see a half because I want to see what both of them have for sure.
So the especially Texans division. Who's in the Texans division? It's Colts,
Jags, and Titans. Easy dub.
I don't know about easy, but yeah, should take care of that one because Tennessee's like one of those tough to beat teams for no reason.
Yeah, shout out to Vrabel. It's 90% Vrabel.
Well, he's gone now. I think didn't they fire him?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, they might be trash. I forgot.
Yeah, that's why they were tough to beat for the last 3 years.
Almost, yeah, dude. Almost exclusively because of him.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the AFC. You got the Texans. I got the Bengals. Don't sleep on the Steelers. I'm just saying it. Saying it early. Don't sleep on the Steelers. I think I wouldn't be surprised.
Fully asleep on them. Isn't Russell out for week 1?
Maybe. I'm just saying
good thing for them.
I won't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying put money on them, but if they did
Sure. I mean, Justin Fields got to be ready.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. NFC, who you got? This is the tough one because they're most of these teams are like
the Niners are just too easy.
So few of these teams have a shot.
There's only like 4 good picks. There's a couple of like exciting picks. Like it would be pretty savage to pick the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie, I want to do it.
It's not savage.
But it's not happening. We know that.
Yeah, they're top 4 though. They're definitely foolish. In the top 4.
I don't want the Niners are like on the Chiefs level as far as like picking them.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's say instead of the Niners, because it was the Chiefs and the Niners, so let's say instead of the Niners.
You know, I'm gonna look at it from the copy greatness perspective.
Okay.
Every time I hear Mahomes talk, it's always about like fun, having fun. You know, we love football. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to get better. How much fun it is to get better. And the Lions embody that.
Okay.
The Lions have fun. Their coach is exciting. He motivates the hell out of the guys.
Yeah.
Goff is proven to be reliable there, which is a wild thing in itself. Like that validates the coaching staff as much as anything to me. But another team, so much young talent.
Yeah.
And I'm picking them because now it's like they are kind of under pressure. They're no longer like the Cinderella. Oh, like the Lions are no longer a joke. Like now they're a serious team.
Yeah.
And I want to see them embrace that. Like I want us to talk about them throughout the season. Like, are they a top 3 team? Are they, a Super Bowl? Are they ready to win the Super Bowl? Because they have the talent for that. I mean, that NFC Championship game last year showed me everything I needed to see.
Yeah. And they're a team that plays to their competition. Like, it's a lot of times if they play a bad team, they don't look that good. When they play a good team, they look just as good as the good team. I'm like, well, I don't know why that happens. Maybe it's just Goff. But if they're playing a team that they should be beating bad, they're like barely, that's barely
kind of their final
out.
step. If they're a mature team this season, like they should be a favorite.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But I am going to completely zag. And I don't think I've ever in my lifetime put confidence in this team. I've had confidence in some quarterbacks they've had, but not in the team. And that is the Atlanta Falcons. I picked the Falcons coming out the NFC. If the 49ers don't. And if the Eagles, I didn't like how the Eagles looked either, but I'm going with Atlanta, man. Going with them. I think they needed Cousins. They've been waiting for something like Cousins. Not that Cousins is like the top tier QB, but when it comes to like teams that have had a ton of weapons that is just waiting for like someone to pick them up, that's the Falcons. Super young, great receivers.
A lot of talent that's been going to waste over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That shit has to stop.
It does. Yeah, it does. They either need to use it or let it go at this point. But I think this is the year. Now, I'm not saying they go to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying for sure they come out of the NFC. I'm just saying if the 49ers don't, I think I would put money on the Falcons. Not a lot of money, but a little bit of money on the Falcons.
I want to like your pick. I'm trying to visualize it because the division is easy.
Yeah.
And that's probably the toughest step just because, a long season, a lot of shit could happen. But, like, if you lose that division, shout out to Baker last year. But if you let him take the division again, the franchise might need a move. And
he could. I was going to say, like, the Bucs are my don't sleep on team for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Shout out to the Bucs. I'm going to try to watch them this year.
They're fun to watch.
Because I faked on them so hard last year. I feel bad.
You made sure you didn't watch any of their games?
No, just because not even made sure, but it just didn't really you're not really looking out for Tampa Bay versus like so and so, like
Yeah, there's there's no nice matchups.
and it took like 2 months for us to even notice that Baker was having a good year.
He was cooking too. Cooking.
But halfway through the Eagles playoff game, I was like, dude, I haven't watched Mike Evans all year, and I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I cannot let that happen again.
Yeah.
But to me, Atlanta, it's so hard to visualize the jump you're seeing.
I think, I think for me, what makes me think it's possible is like purely how seasoned Cousins is. Like if Cousins wasn't like, been in the league as long as he has, been with so many different weapons like he has, like he's played with a lot of guys now. I just think his seasoning for this team, a young team that has like everything, they're good at every position other than quarterback until now on offense.
Yeah.
They're like too deep at every position. They have two really good receivers. They have two good tight ends. They have two good backs. And they just had no one to, really use it. I just think I think it's possible. I think it's very, very possible.
Did they get another rookie quarterback as well?
I think they did. I think they did draft someone.
I can't remember who it was.
Let me see. Who would be your next pick in the NFC?
I'm not gonna lie, I like the Packers till Love went down.
You think he can come back and no?
No.
I mean, you think he can come back and save the season?
No.
Yeah.
Not
Penix.
with limited. If he was 100%, like I could maybe foolishly get excited, but coming back not 100, I don't see it.
They got Penix Jr. from Washington. Atlanta did.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Atlanta's got. My thing is, I just want Atlanta to be watchable.
Yeah.
Like I want Atlanta to be fun, to have good games, to have some shootouts. Like you said, all these weapons, like their games have been low scoring for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So if they're competitive, I can't picture the going from trash to Super Bowl. Like the Texans, what the Texans did this past year, like I could see the Falcons doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like all of a sudden, coach knows what they're doing. Cousin, it's not quite a new quarterback, but a seasoned vet to kind of get the young guys in shape, and we're off potentially contending.
Yeah, I think another example could be the Titans 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, where they randomly look like, they randomly had like the third best record in the league.
Yeah, and they even kind of went toe to toe with the Chiefs.
Yeah, they did
a good half of the playoff game.
Yeah, they did. So I could definitely see Atlanta doing something like that. Like, oh wow, they're like, are they about to win this? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it in Atlanta. Titans roster now is.
I wanna foolishly dream about the Cowboys, but I just can't. Like, I just cannot convince myself to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay in the Niners division.
Okay.
The Rams are coming back.
The Rams?
The Rams.
Coming back to do what?
To win
the championship?
Or to go to the Super Bowl. Not to win it.
Oh, okay.
But to me, they have the perfect blend.
They do.
Of good coaching. McVay, to me, certified that last year. Yeah. Last year was his first good coaching year while having adversity.
Yes.
And to me, Stafford is coming into the season as healthy as ever. I'm going to trust they invested in a little bit more protection for him. I don't know that, but I'm going to assume.
Right.
And they're just I really like watching them. Like they go to their hot hand, they feed their weapons, they're capable defensively. I know they lost an all-time great lineman.
Yeah.
But to me, like as far as them making plays on defense, they've had more talent than just one guy.
They have, yeah.
So I think they have a good chance to give the Niners somewhat of a struggle.
Who's the best wide receiver duo in the league? And are they better than Cooper Kupp and Puka?
Probably not.
I think they're probably the best.
Tyreek
and Waddle
stayed on the damn field, maybe, but he doesn't. So no.
Right.
Yeah.
Cooper really doesn't that much either, but when he is there, he's that much better. So I think they might have the best wide receiver duo in the whole league. So I'm
in Stafford. Like Stafford's been around a long time. He's really fucking good.
He is.
If he stays healthy, to me, they're gonna be maybe not a favorite, but you could see them winning every game they're in.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if, like, I'm never shocked if they win games against like Super Bowl favorites. Yeah.
I mean, that division, even the Niners have kind of been way better, and that division has been a battle every year.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even mention the Seahawks, who, obviously aren't a good Super Bowl pick, but they're probably going to win way more games than we think.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
Or Cardinals, I don't know. That's a total wild card.
Cardinals are done, as far as I'm concerned.
I hope Josh Allen just obliterates them this weekend.
He probably will. He'll have to run because he's not going to make. Well, let me not start.
I don't know.
Let me not start hating this early.
See, I'm asking for too much because then the MVP, the Josh for MVP.
It's going to start right away.
I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
It's going to start right away.
He's so primed, dude. If he has a good month, if Josh has a good month, he's going to be on track to win the shit.
Dude, if he has one good game, they'll be like, oh, here we go. The Josh Allen, it's time. They're going to do all that stuff. Like, he just had to get warmed up. All that mess, all the excuses. Like
Stephon was actually holding him back, and despite the fact that he can't throw it to anybody else.
Finally, we get to see him use his legs. He's not worried about throwing it to appeasing any receivers. They're gonna add some spice to it. He's not worried about appeasing any spoiled receivers. They're gonna say something like that. Like, come on, man. But yeah, no, I don't want that either. But I do think he'll obliterate them. I think that game will be over pretty quickly.
That's one of the least interesting games of the first week.
Yeah. Do you have any confidence in the Bears? By confidence, I mean, how many games you got them winning this year? 6?
Yeah, let's go with 6. I like that number.
I don't. Titans winning any?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, at least a few.
So 3? Is 3 a few or 4?
4.
4. Who's gonna have the worst record in the league?
Easy. Are you serious?
The Giants?
The Giants. Remember you said the 10-year question, like if you had to GM, which roster would you take for the next 10
the Giants
years?
Would be the least.
The Giants are dead fucking last on my list.
Yeah,
dead last.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
If it was between the Cardinals and the Giants, I'd walk into the Cardinals building like I already won the Super Bowl. Like I won.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
The Giants are I mean, they might surprise because Daboll's still there and he seems to be competitive.
Yeah.
But committing financially to trash cans, I just can't get behind that, especially quarterbacks.
Like, you don't have them winning week 1?
Who are they playing?
The Vikings.
The Vikings did lose the quarterback.
Yeah.
And Jones, McCarthy, for some reason, loves torching the Vikings.
Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy is their QB duo.
I mean, McCarthy's done for the year, so it's Darnold going to be playing?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's done for the year. You're right. Darnold, yeah.
Oof. Yeah, they're a lost cause.
I got the Giants winning that one. I think they can win that one.
I think the Giants are 2 games max. 2 wins.
Oh, man. No surprise.
If I luckily I don't gamble because I definitely would bet some of these over-under on some of the teams.
You go under on the Giants?
Yeah, but the Bears, like 6 with the Bears, I'd struggle.
Let me see.
Because
what
I'm thinking about it, the tools for them to do what the Texans just did.
Yeah,
they are kind of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Caleb, as far as like the eye test, he looks good.
He does.
But it's like, again, this organization has been so inept.
Mm-hmm.
Did they hire a new coach along with Caleb Williams coming in? Because like that was crucial to the Texans' success.
Yeah.
Like you got to time the development of the new coach along with the correct quarterback.
That not a new head coach, but I think I want to say they got a new coordinator. Offensive coordinator is new.
I'm gonna say they win 7 games. They are in the Lions, Packers. What am I missing? Lions, Packers, and Vikings.
And their division, Lions, Packers, Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be a tough division, to be honest. I mean, the Vikings might not be good, but the other 3 teams should all be relatively close to each other record-wise, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. The Bears are such a mystery to me.
They are. I'd like to see who else emerges on the Bears that like makes them, interesting at all. Like who else, what other talent I see from there? Because I haven't really watched them, so I don't really know what their, what anything else they have is. Do you?
Yeah. It would be nice to see them become relevant because they've been as irrelevant as anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, in our podcast lifetime, have we had a meaningful Bears conversation?
No.
I don't even think so. Like, I'm really trying to think about, like, have they even had a significant event of any kind?
No. Not in my whole watching of basketball. I mean, watching a football career. Not that I can remember.
I started watching football around the Jay Cutler glory years.
Yeah. Gross glory
sitting
years.
On the bike, dude. I was talking about that with somebody recently. Him sitting on the bike in the championship game. What a legend.
Yeah, Jay. He might be one of my least favorite athletes of all times. No disrespect, Jay. For people who like Jay that are listening, I just never understood the love.
As far as he had a fucking cannon for an arm though.
He did. He throw that bad boy to the other team too, though.
Yeah, facts. He was like a worse Brett Favre, like a Brett Favre that didn't care.
Yeah.
Because like Brett Favre cared so much. Jay was the opposite. Jay didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like if Brett Favre and Goff had a baby, that would be Jay Cutler.
I can see that, yeah.
Just
but the Bears, man,
to the other team.
Again, I think Caleb Williams. I should have, maybe seeing their schedule. Like if they have some easy games early on,
Yeah.
to kind of set the tone, like make people consider them as serious.
Can he carry them though? Will he have to?
I think that's the thing. Like, I think he could carry momentum. I don't think he could just carry them.
I got you.
But I do think like I don't think he's CJ Stroud good, or at least not yet.
Right.
And the Texans, the Texans are such a blueprint to me now with all these young teams. I can't help but think of like you have to kind of follow that. There's really no other way you could do it as a young team. Maybe the Packers.
Their schedule is set up for him to have a good year, I think. Like, so they have Titans, the Texans, the Colts, the Rams, the Panthers, Jags, bye. Commanders, Cardinals, Patriots, Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers are going to get destroyed. Vikings again, Lions again, Seahawks, Packers again.
That's a lot of NFC teams.
Yeah.
So if you're competing for a playoff spot, you're pretty battle tested, the last quarter of the season.
Yeah.
And as such a new team, like I think they'd be happy to be in the moment at that point.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Titans obviously is winnable. Colts might be winnable for them. Texans might be winnable. Panthers for sure. Commanders maybe. Cardinals for sure. Patriots for sure. He could have a good season.
I want to apologize. I was a little I was quick to answer your question earlier, the worst record.
Yeah.
Because I completely forgot about the Panthers and the Patriots.
Both teams?
Yeah. As far as how awful they're going to be this year,
yeah,
the sky looks pitch black, not gray. Just
I was going to say the Panthers, but
there's like some because the Patriots I think are even worse because the Panthers like you could kind of make the excuse that Bryce Young sucks. Because everything around him sucks too, but if he looks like he did last year, he sucks.
Yeah.
But the Patriots got a fucking rookie coming in.
And rookie coach.
Rookie coach. No weapons. Like their last time they couldn't protect their quarterback. I didn't hear about them picking up any linemen. Like I can't Who's a player on the Patriots that they traded the defensive lineman to the Falcons? Yeah,
I can't think of anyone on the Patriots that like I really know. I'd have to look it up and be like, oh yeah, I've heard his name before. But
to me, I can't visualize the Patriots winning any games.
They got Jacoby Brissett.
Okay. He might get a lot of playing time. He might get a lot of starts this year. Good for him.
Yeah, if they got Drake, who are they starting this year? Did they say Milton?
I think Brissett is the QB1.
What?
I mean, why not?
Milton and Drake May both. Okay, that's fine.
I wouldn't put Drake May out there right away.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just the team sucks. Like, I don't know. The Panthers and Giants to me, they could at least like lie to themselves. Like, oh, maybe our quarterback will get better. Like, maybe we'll pick somebody up, or maybe our coach like will finesse something.
Yeah.
Patriots got none of that to me.
Yeah. I'm surprised they wouldn't go into this year starting a rookie. Like the team, based on how the team is, like this is the kind of team you normally see the rookie like take the keys.
I think they probably will put him in quick.
Yeah.
They'll have like 2 weeks of a couple of straight field goal games.
Yeah.
Oh, the offense needs juice. We're making a quarterback switch. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be at least one Jacoby like hero game where like he has like one random game-winning drive, and
Make a
then then they
quarterback
lose the next 4 games in a
controversy.
row. Huh?
Make a quarterback controversy on the most meaningless team in the league.
Yeah, and then they'll lose 4 games in a row, like right after that. Like he'll have like a
That's how it normally
legendary
goes.
fourth quarter, and then they'll blow the next 3 weeks. Like get blown out the next 3 weeks. Last team, I think the only team we like didn't mention at all today. What do you think about the Saints? We didn't mention the
Irrelevant.
Chargers either. Saints and the Chargers.
See, the Chargers are interesting. That's
Uh-huh.
I mean, we didn't mention the Broncos either, but who cares?
Yeah, it's nothing to say about the
New
Broncos.
quarterback, maybe, after like the first 2 weeks, if he's putting on a show, I'll check him out.
Who is it?
Is it the Tennessee guy?
No, he's on the Patriots.
Oh,
Milton. Hold on, I'm about to look.
I don't remember.
Who do we have? Who do we have? Broncos. Oh, Bo Nix. That's right.
Bo Nix.
They just announced Bo Nix as the starter too.
His bitch ass, his fucking playing at college for a decade. I remember him now. I can't believe I forgot.
Him and Stetson Bennett. He was on the team earlier. We talked about. I forgot, but yeah. Both those guys are super old.
But Bo
people
Nix,
are saying Bo Nix looks really good.
Bo Nix had a very up and down road.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's had like a eventful college career as far as like how he's played. So I think it's actually makes him more seasoned coming in.
Yeah.
Broncos are like they're gonna be like better than trash.
Yeah.
But not important. Like the Chargers to me though are interesting. Because
Zach Wilson, I believe in you.
Is he there?
Broncos.
Oh, and the Broncos.
Yeah.
Oh, he might take that spot.
He might. By the end of the year, he might be starting.
I think the Chargers, though, you know what I'm scared of with the Chargers? What we just saw with Sean Payton, speaking of the Broncos.
Okay.
And it's not the same exact situation because Harbaugh is like a college GOAT and he's coming off of winning in college.
Yeah.
But like Sean Payton was coming in to the Broncos arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
And where it's like, oh, like I'll just figure like I could do this like with my system works with anyone. And like I obviously know what the fuck I'm doing. And it didn't look like it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried Harbaugh's gonna have the same problem.
Kind of like when Rex Ryan came to the Bills.
Kind of. That's a good comparison, yeah.
He was bugging when he
was. He really was.
Yeah.
But like to me, Harbaugh's very stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
And that to me, like if you have good football ideas and obviously you're a good coach, like you could really get better and better in college that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't work at all in the NFL. And I think like over the last decade, it's pro sports, it works even less now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bill Belichick, the Popovich, like guys like that, to me, they can't establish that kind of identity anymore.
Right.
Because, well, first, those guys were coming off of a track record of having that identity.
Yeah.
But now, like, you need the flexibility. The NFL has so much talent that you're not just going to make the Chargers, like, your own team.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to find a way to maximize the weapons, to find some kind of versatility, to make Herbert a reliable quarterback, not just a talented one.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many talented quarterbacks in the league. Herbert's one of them. There's so few reliable quarterbacks, and he's not.
Right.
that to me is where like Harbaugh's under a lot of pressure, which I actually really like that he picked the Chargers because it's like an exciting team.
Yeah.
But to me, this is a team that's gotten so used to losing. Good Lord.
That, you made a good point. That if you were to ask me what team is under the most pressure, I probably would have said the Chargers. Because, like, at this point, I mean, Herbert is still pretty young, but at this point, he's getting into, like, we need to do something big to shake this up territory for them. Yeah. Because they're really stale. Like, at this point, we're, like, 3 years in a row of them, like, getting almost the same record, kind of. Yes. Or, like, getting to the same destination, looking kind of the same, getting beat by the same teams. Like, so...
There's a lot of teams chasing the Chiefs, but like those teams have at least shown us moments that like, okay, maybe they could beat them.
Yeah.
The Ravens have dominated everyone else enough to show like maybe they could beat them. The Bengals have done it. Who am I missing? Oh, even the Bills have went toe to toe with the Chiefs.
Yeah. Even the Dolphins have given Chiefs good games.
The Dolphins have shown to be like have enough firepower to do it.
Yeah.
The Chargers have had no results to be proud of.
Yeah.
I think they got one playoff appearance. They stunk. Every other year they've like been on the cusp and they've lost critical games.
Yeah.
By the way, their playoff appearance was handed to them by the Raiders' stupidity.
Yeah.
So like you said, man, Harbaugh is under a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I both know that it has to be Herbert that shows us this team's potential.
It does, yeah.
Like, it's ain't like the Broncos where Sean Payton's coming in and it's like, hey, it was a mess before and it's still a mess. That's a bad look on you.
Yeah.
To me, the talent has to show that there's something here.
Yeah, because he's one of the few. I mean, I know this kind of might seem crazy, but when you really think about it, there's not that many obvious starters in the NFL, like quarterbacks. Like each division has like maybe two, maybe three that like 100% that quarterback should be starting, and the other ones are kind of like wild cards at this point.
Yeah.
When I say, let me say like a lot. I'll say maybe two in each division. Two in the AFC East, AFC North, AFC South, AFC West. Probably two where you're like, I don't know who would start for them. I don't know who I really want to start on the Raiders at this point. Broncos, they have no idea. The Titans, no idea. The Browns is still kind of up in the air. The Steelers are kind of at a crossroad, going to be at a crossroads this year, depending on how Wilson plays. Patriots, we don't know. So, like, Herbert is one of those guys that 100% should be starting. So now he has to start acting like it.
Yes.
Like, he really has to start acting like it. And to me, it's just the flashes. It's so few flashes that I almost can't even, like, I don't know, I'm kind of a Herbert hater, but the flashes are getting fewer and further in between. That's what I mean. The flashes of him being like a top 5 QB. It's like one game he looks like he's top 5, and the next game he looks like, hey, like you're looking at the bench, like, hey, what else do we have?
I feel like it's a similar arc to Josh Allen where his kind of the peak he's already shown us was really great those first like year or two.
Yeah.
But now there's nothing else there. It's just talent. You're not we can't trust you to execute. We can't trust you to close games well. Maybe this isn't all your fault, but your health isn't great. You get hurt relatively easily.
Yeah, we're not seeing the chemistry. Like, I mean, he's had weapons. We're not seeing them build any chemistry with him. Like, Baker came to the Bucks, and him and Mike Evans are like automatically a duo. Like, they've been playing together for 6 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, Baker's only like a year older than Herbert too?
Couple. I think a couple, maybe three.
Maybe three. Like, you got to get to that point. And I mean, Herbert doesn't have. I mean, he has guys he targets, but I wouldn't say it's chemistry at this point.
I will say, like, thinking about it more and more, the Chargers have had certified losers coaching. Like, their coaching has actively, like, cost them many games.
He said certified. Yeah.
Like, Staley, Anthony Lynn before, like, he was just kind of not that good. And the team had gotten stale under him. But Staley was a certified loser.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm just like, I just go for shit. Like, no, you're not coaching or you're making bad decisions all the time.
Right.
So like, in that way, I want to give them somewhat of a pass that Harbaugh's got to be, like, this has to be a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because Harbaugh does know how to win on both levels. So if, again, hypothetically, we probably had these conversations before they made the hire, but this was a good pick for them. They had to make this splash hire and take the risk.
One thing about both Harbaughs that is one thing I like about both of them is that they have this willingness to adjust to, like, different ages of their stars.
Yeah.
Like, they could easily have a rookie star or have, like, a seasoned star, and you don't really see any difference. A lot of other coaches, I think, do struggle with that sometimes, going from like I think even the other Harbaugh at first, going from Flacco to Lamar, was a little bit of a push and pull, but then, like, it only took like maybe 1 year, and then it looked like they were tight. But a lot of other coaches, it takes maybe 2 or 3 years to really get to that point where you turn from, like, colleague to mentor, or mentor to colleague is like two different things. But I'm confident that in this situation, this is Jim, right? Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah, this situation, Jim will be able to easily, like, I think Herbert is a good quarterback to adjust to Jim. I think they'll have a good chemistry.
I do think so too. Yeah. And it's interesting, like, if Jim takes his team to the Super Bowl, I mean, if they win a Super Bowl, which obviously is reaching for the stars,
yeah,
Jim skyrockets in the all-time coaching rankings.
Oh yeah, he's goated.
Like,
he's
goated. The Chargers in the division with a goal, like, that would be just insane.
To me, if they get to the championship, he's up there.
Yeah.
If they get to the AFC Championship,
if he makes them a Super Bowl contender quickly, he already pretty much skyrockets. You're right.
Yeah.
Because then my fears are not really a concern, and he could switch back and forth like it's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to me, I mean, holy shit, that's difficult.
Yeah. Last team we have to talk about, the Jets. Obviously, the most anticipated team in the league right now. All my fantasy leagues are going crazy with the Jets players.
Forgot to mention them in the Super Bowl picks.
Right. I was going to say Vegas is going crazy with the Jets. What do you think?
Well, considering their season lasted 5 plays or 4 plays last year, it's got to be better, right?
Oh, yeah. They're definitely better. But how good?
I think they're an 8-9 team.
Really? So just 500 basically?
Yep.
Okay.
Disappointing. I specifically picked on the underside.
Yeah. I got them going under as well. Yeah. I don't know about that far under. Yeah.
It's interesting that the division games are going to be very interesting for me.
Yeah.
Like, if they're 5-1, maybe even undefeated in the division, okay, then at that point, they're serious.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, you can't trust this collection of talent.
It's too, like, why not? It's too stacked? Or it's just too odd?
It's too random.
Okay, yeah.
The defense is good, but it's like it's been good in meaningless games.
Uh-huh.
Like they haven't been under pressure of every game matters every week and you're battling for the standings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't really trust all their young guys to understand what that's like. I don't trust their coaching staff at all.
Uh-huh.
Their coach hasn't handled any of the Aaron Rodgers nonsense well.
Uh-huh.
And last but not least, Aaron Rodgers is like 1 foot out the door.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has been flirting with other career paths.
Yeah.
He's getting killed this year.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. He should, this is a horrible way to say it, but he should hope he gets fucking injured quickly again.
Yeah, because the pressure, as far as a player who has more pressure on them, it's Aaron Rodgers, number one.
Aaron and Aaron is so talented. He's going to be great at points in the season, of course.
Yeah.
But this team really doesn't need him to be great.
No, they don't.
Like the last thing they need from him is all his incredible talent, because like you said, oh my God, there's so much talent here.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need his leadership.
Mm.
Ask the Packers what his leadership has looked like the last couple years.
Mm.
He couldn't even – Tyler, he got hurt 4 games into the season last year and found a way to be a trash leader.
It's funny that, like, Zach Wilson had some leadership. He just wasn't good. Like, he just didn't have
who didn't help? Who never helped him in any capacity?
Rodgers. And Rodgers even was vocal about saying he wasn't going to help, which is crazy. Like, yeah, he's doing that. He's doing his thing.
As a certified Hall of Famer. Oh,
Yeah.
God, can't let these young guys take my job. Aaron, what are you talking about?
You guys are getting paid by the same people.
Imagine being Aaron Rodgers level good, worried about young quarterbacks taking their job.
Who's not even starting already. And rookie's already taken the young quarterback's job.
That's where, like, the Jets are going to be, like, awesome entertainment all year.
Yeah, it is.
That's why they're 8-9. They could approach that 8-9 every possible way.
Yeah.
On the way to the playoffs, desperately fighting to get back in the playoffs, or anything in between that and any outlier outside of that.
Yeah, I could see them losing like the last 4 games.
But what I know,
I can see them being really good.
Is like consistently good.
What'd you say?
This team won't be they won't string 4 consistent games together.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
there's no way. And because of that, they're going to have no identity. Their leadership is going to suck. The moment things go bad, it's his fault. It's his fault. It's not my fault. It's coach's fault. Like, it's going to be finger pointing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the last time Aaron Rodgers took ownership of anything.
No, never.
So this to me is a recipe for not disaster, but like it's a recipe for, what's the word I'm looking for? The phrase. Like think of a dish that's almost complete but missing something.
Okay.
That to me is the Jets. I'm not good with food, so I can't like make a good comparison for it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get what you mean.
The Jets are like an incomplete recipe.
Mm.
And like maybe not incomplete, but like I would like to replace certain ingredients.
Yeah, I know
to
what you mean.
keep the food analogy way too long.
Yeah, they are just. It just seems like there's a lot of raw talent. Like everything is just a little too raw. Like maybe it does need to be cooked a little bit longer, but they don't have. I mean, Rodgers is like really the only guy I would say like really knows his own game at this point on the team.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just kind of like seeing how good they can be, and he already knows how good he can be. But to your point, his leadership isn't going to help anyone else determine how good they can be. So
that's why it's like their coach will be under Jim Harbaugh level pressure every time they lose.
Yeah.
Saleh. Every time they lose, everybody's going to be like, oh, you suck, dude. Look at your last 3 years, how much you've been fucking losing.
Yeah. They like him.
Look at how no other coach gets to last more than 2 years on the Jets. Like, maybe that's not an accident. Like,
they like him, though, so far. I don't know why, but for some reason he gets a lot of love. A lot more love.
That's where
I think
it's really disturbing. It looks like the Jets have been making decisions the last couple years to please Aaron Rodgers. That's
true.
And that, to me, look, hopefully I'm wrong. I would like to be wrong. And the Jets in the playoffs, like that would be fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If there's some multiverse where the Jets, Aaron Rodgers is facing Mahomes in the AFC Championship, like that would be crazy.
If Mahomes wins that, he's automatically the GOAT.
Yeah.
If he's not already for people.
I want to be wrong on Aaron, but he's been so goddamn selfish.
Yeah.
I just can't visualize him all of a sudden being an excellent teammate for 5 months.
And he thinks he's easy to love, and he really isn't.
Yeah.
He really does think he is, though.
He's delusional in a lot of ways.
Yeah. All right. I don't think I have any basketball. I was thinking about it. WNBA playoffs are shaping up. It's getting pretty exciting. Teams are making their final push for the playoffs. I want to say there's 7 games left. I believe 7 games left, something like that. And really, 7 out of the 8 teams have clinched. So the
training camp starts in the end of September, right? For NBA?
Playoffs?
No, for NBA.
You said NBA?
Yeah, the training camp.
Yeah, end of September. Yeah. You know, the WNBA is funny because you can lose 22 games and still make the playoffs. Actually, you can lose 25 games and still be in the hunt for the playoffs. Out of 35 or 36 games. So Dallas has won 9 games, and they can still make the playoffs right now.
They shouldn't, but they could.
Yeah, they could. A lot of their players just came back from being injured, and they finally have their full team like for the last 7 games of the season. But we'll talk about WNBA again, like in depth, probably next week. It is football weekend, and I think that's all I have. You have anything else?
No, yeah, as usual, this next like month and a half will be a lot of football because we're waiting for basketball.
Yes.
And I want to make a point to follow football a little more this year because I am very excited to see everyone that's not the Chiefs potentially try to catch up to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And probably fail.
This is, I mean, since the Patriots, this is the first time it's been like that.
Yeah, but to me, like, it doesn't feel as impossible as it did with Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, the league is better overall. Yes. Like, there's way more.
It's the same as the NBA trend where it's just the talent is just overall so much, like it's just evolved so much over the years.
Yeah.
I think football is in kind of this similar place where a lot of these teams, like if you look at the talent, they're going toe to toe.
Yeah, and plus those kind of things really only ever happen once. Because once that happens, now other teams know the blueprint. Similar with the Bulls. Once the Bulls did that, the Warriors team didn't seem unbeatable, even though they had the best record ever. It still seemed like, oh, well, they might be able to be beaten. Because we've seen the Bulls do it. So now it's like another team. It's not that weird anymore. It does look like it's possible. There'll never be another situation like that Patriots team, though. It was like they were just waiting around for the Super Bowl, basically.
Yeah.
Everything
Chiefs
was
are
just
still gonna have to work. Hey, even though I'm confident in the Chiefs, they still got to work for it.
They definitely do. Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you for listening. As always, subscribe.
Yeah, we
See
are
us
back.
on YouTube.
Summer is over. We are back. We are
back.
Gonna be working on getting back to a regular schedule. Bear with us.
Yes, bear with us. We both have busy schedules now.
Yes,
Mine
unfortunately, we don't just podcast for income.
Unfortunately, yeah. But thank you for tuning in. Keep supporting us, and we'll be back next time.